As a new immigrant and young mother in the UK, Farida suffered abuse from her husband that became intolerable.
Sometimes being safe is more important than being married. I think I was very clear in my mind that I really need to go. The woman from the YMCA, she found me. I was sitting and crying, and she took me to Shakti. I still remember the door. It was a green color, large wooden door, and there was no sign, nothing. She knocked the door. Someone came and opened the door. I think that was the most important door open in my life. And I would never forget the door. They got my daughter back. Everything they did every day, they actually added on to my strength.
With the help of Shakti Aid UK, a shelter specifically for ethnic women, she was able to secure her future and eventually immigrate to New Zealand.
It was very empowering. I was able to stand up for myself. I was ready to build my own life from the scratch again. As far as setting up Shakti, I couldn't think about doing anything else. If we go back 15 years ago, there's a whole lot of women's refuge throughout the country, but the general idea was these are for the European women, those are not for us. For us, leaving home is not an option. I volunteered with one of the local women's refuge. Refuge was in a suburb where there's a very large amount of immigrant population. They said they hardly have immigrant women coming through. And it really bothered me for months that how can there would be no violence? I couldn't believe that. I did a little bit survey to find out. Spoke to 50 women. And out of 50, 48 women said they need a support group. And some of these women that we talked to, they wanted to be a volunteer. They said if we set up something, they're happy to be volunteer. And that's how the first 7 women came on board and we started Shakti.
Shakti is an organisation dedicated to supporting women from ethnic communities in crisis because of domestic violence. It offers women a safe haven and a helping hand to make a fresh start in life. Lucia is one of the original members of staff at Shakti.
At that time, the whole family we come to New Zealand to have the better life. Then when we are settled down and husband gone to work and my daughter is also have her schooling, and then I got the spare time. I involved with Shakti since 1996 because Farida started 1995 and I'm the second generation.
Going back 15 years, no women came with saying that, oh, I've been beaten or I've been abused. It wasn't the case. At that time, no one even spoke about it. It was just all hidden. We couldn't start as domestic violence services because we know that women are not ready to respond. We just wanted to make a difference. And we thought, what do you think women need right now? Because majority of them said we need to learn English. We just had a community hall, started the English class. Our volunteer used to pick up women from the houses. Then they could come. And some women used to come without their husband knowing. Women came out and spoke to our volunteer, I think I'm going through domestic violence. Some of the women started leaving their relationship. And that's how we started. If we said we provide service to ethnic women in domestic violence, I don't think anyone would have come even near Shakti because it was very, very different environment.
When Humura's marriage was arranged in Pakistan, her future looked good. But soon after arriving in New Zealand to start a new life with her husband, the reality was very different.
My marriage was arranged in Pakistan. My family paid a dowry to my husband. It was arranged marriage like through a marriage bureau. So our family don't know his family. So marriage like bureau, they fixed everything and my family made first time with him. But I was unlucky. My husband, he just married with me only for money. He was angry when I was pregnant. He didn't want a baby because he want me to work.
Hi, Shakti Women's Center. Good morning.
I'm Tinsi Sethi and I'm the Domestic Violence Intervention Service Coordinator for Shakti Asian Women's Center. What happens is usually resident men or citizen men here in New Zealand, they go back to India or countries back home, get married there and kind of sponsor and bring their wives here. So the wives come here on a work permit which is sponsored by him.
When I'm living with my ex, he applied for work permit for me. And when I came here, I find like he has a relation with Fiji Indian girlfriend, 8 years. So that was shocked with me. I can't tolerate this type of relationship.
How long have you been married? I could see the difference that we were making to these ethnicities that we were working for. And the fact that brought me so much close to Shakti is that we've got multilingual staff. So we've got staff who comes from the same ethnicity, same communities to the women that we cater to. So it's about understanding the cultural issues.
Since 2002, Sheila Nair has managed Shakti refuge services in Auckland.
We have 4 refuges in New Zealand, 2 in Auckland and 1 in Christchurch and 1 in Tauranga. Domestic violence in the communities that we work with, that's Asian, African and Middle Eastern, domestic violence is kind of culturally sanctioned and accepted.
The way we are brought up in our cultures, women are taught to be submissive, women are taught that marriage is extremely important, you can't leave your marriage until you die, Women should not be single moms or should not be living alone. It's seen in a very different way. And that's the same thing that they pass on to their kids. So it's like a cycle that goes on.
When they migrate, they obviously migrate with the same cultural mindsets. So it's not that domestic violence happens only when they migrate. They carry these aspects right from their home countries.
It's very hard for an ordinary Kiwi person or a Pakia lady to relate to these women. But when you've got staff, when you've got someone who's sitting there and speaking to you, who understands what you're talking about, when she says, I fear my life or I fear isolation, people in the community won't talk to me if I leave my husband.
If you listen to them, most of them had very empowering stories before they got into these abusive relationships. And they will tell you how they've lost themselves. Their whole quest is about finding themselves.
He hit many times because when I asked why you comes late, because he didn't provide food for me. He just, when I ask any question, he just hit me. He was very bad with me. Sometimes very hard because I have no relatives here. I have no family friends here because I'm new here. I don't know the law here. I don't know everything. So, yeah, when I remember all that things, it's very painful for me.
Shun Hay suffered years of violence at the hands of her husband and does not wish to be identified because of the shame.
My husband started abusing me after we got married in Korea. When I came to New Zealand, I had a great hope that maybe my problems would be solved. But the reality was very different.
Once they migrate, tend to continue to take the violence for long periods of time. And from our experience, what we have seen is that only when push comes to shove and they feel they're going over the edge really, and either if they don't leave, they're either going to get killed or they're going to end up committing suicide, or if not that, if they worry about the kids being violated, it's only then that they leave.